Okay, so today we're going to create a Valentine using Google Slides, and we're going to use shapes and word art. And you're going to be creating your Google Valentine on slide number 3, but I will go ahead and show you the steps. You're going to start by adding a background, then you're going to, step 2, you're going to add a shape and then change the color and size of that shape. And then step 3, you're going to add the word and change the size and the color. And at any time, you can stop the video in the lower left-hand side and go work on your artwork and come back and listen if I'm moving too fast for you. But I try to just keep moving so that the video is short. So the first step, as I said, is add a background. So I'm going to go ahead and go up here to the background word. That's where it says background, and the instructions come up here, change background. So I'm going to go ahead and touch that. And here we have the word color, and there's a circle here. And if we touch that circle, we can choose any background color. So I'm going to go ahead and choose a purple color. Oh, how about if I choose a blue? I think I'll choose a light blue color. Yeah, I like the turquoise. Okay, done. The next step here is I'm going to add a shape, then change the color and size. So the shape is found right here underneath the circle and the square, and that's the word shape. So we're going to go ahead and touch that. And if I'm using a mouse, and I'm going to click the left side of my mouse, but if you're going to be using your touchpad on your computer, you can just move your finger around, and when you're hovering over, then you tap your mouse pad, and then you hover over the word and you tap it again. And now I want to find the heart, and I'm going to tap it again. And now I'm going to go ahead and tap it again. And so the heart pops up on my screen. Now that's a pretty small heart compared to the one I was using, right? There's mine. So what do I do to make it bigger? Well, there's a couple choices. You can tap the shape again and the blue box comes up. That means now you've activated the shape tool. Now you can, if you want to stretch it out by just stretching the blue box, I hold my left hand down on the left corner so the circle comes up, and now I stretch it. And then the same thing is I'm going to tap, hold the left finger down on the left side of my mouse pad, and then I'm going to stretch it. So there's a big one. Another thing you can do, I'm just going to delete that one, is I'm going to go ahead and go to I'm using my mouse pad. I tap, tap, and hover over the heart and tap again, and it comes up. The other thing I can do since I have my blue box up again, that means I'm in the shape, I can go up to format here and choose format options. And here I can go ahead, this instruction pad comes up here, and I can go ahead and touch size. And look, we have the size in inches, the width and the height. We can just tap those little arrows and it can get wider. I'm tapping it many times, and I'm going to tap the arrow here and making it taller. The other thing I can do is if I select this box which says lock aspect ratio, 2 of them will move at once. So I can go ahead and see how it gets bigger together. Now I'm going to put my left finger down on the left side of my mouse pad, and I can use my right hand to move the arrow around, or the heart around. Okay, so now I have it in kind of where I want it to be. I'm in the shape because the blue box is up, so I'm going to go up here and change the color, and I'm going to use the gradient, which will make it dark on the bottom and light on the top. And I can also, over here on the right side, if I close up the size and rotation, I can go ahead and add a drop shadow. And I just touch that and see the shadows there. You can't see it too much because the distance isn't moved over. So now I'm going to just slide the distance over. And this says blur radius. I'm going to slide this over. So now I have done the first and then the second step. My first step was to add a background. My second step was to add a shape and change the size and the color. And then I snuck another one in there to do a drop shadow. Last, we're going to do now. So if you want to pause right now, hit the video in the lower left-hand side and stop it and go do the first 2 steps on your assignment, you can do that and then come back. Or you can watch the rest of it where I show you how to do the word art part. So step 3 is add the word art, change the size and the color. So I'm going to go back to that slide. I am going to go up here to insert and I'm going to find word art. You can see that with the letter A. I'm going to go ahead and tap it. This is a text box that pops up now. And we can use I want you to use a short word like LOL, which is text for lots of love. You can say BFF for best friends forever. You can write love. You can write happy, joy, let's be friends. Those are some choices. And if you wanted to use those, go ahead and stop the video, write them down if you don't know how to spell them. But you can just use one of these. So I'm going to go ahead and use LOL. And it says right here, use enter to save or press shift enter for multiple lines. We're just going to use one line. So I'm going to go ahead and press enter. And there it is, LOL. Now my standard type style is Arial. So you see, I went ahead and I touched the type and the blue box came up. And so now I see the font. Font is another word for type style. I'm going to go touch the little arrow here and I'm going to choose something kind of fun. How about if I did use Gloria Hallelujah before, so that's not that interesting. Let's go permanent marker. Okay, so there's permanent marker. And I'm just using the left side of my mouse to slide that over. And again, I can go right over here to my format and I can make it bigger. And the other thing I can do is I can turn the angle. It says angle right here, degrees. So if I hit those little arrows, it goes on an angle and I can go back. I'll make it a little bit smaller. Okay, and lastly, we are supposed to change the size and the color. So I've changed the size. Now I'm not there's no blue box up here, so there's no color, background color dropping up there. So I have to go ahead and touch the type, and then here we see the fill color. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose gradient, which makes it look a little rounded. And I'm going to change the color to yellow. How's that? All right, so that's a pretty good assignment here. You can make many hearts, you can do lots of words, but I'm going to stop here.